All right, yes, it's still the Daybreak Show on Rock City 101.9 FM here in the city of Abeokuta Citizens Forum this morning. Okay, I will be going. Is it grassroots? Of course, something that has to do with what you do on a daily basis. Dele Ayodo is my name.
And I am Tobi Joseph.
All right, maybe I should start by asking you or Toby or anybody this question. Is it compulsory that you keep your money in the bank? I don't know what answer you have to, or what your response to that will be. Well, I know some people will say yes, some people will say no, I don't have to. And the truth is, there are some people who do not have bank accounts. But for those who do what we call corporate business, or you have to interact your business, your work with others, then you must have a bank account. Well, just by tomorrow, through a court order, the banks in Nigeria have been ordered by a court, the Federal High Court, to forfeit all monies belonging to those who do not have BVN into the federal government accounts. And this, well, typical of Nigerians, people are talking about it, disturbed and worried. I've heard a lot of stories about. Of course, I have my opinion. I cannot say it about that. It's like we are not working or thinking as Nigerians. We always assume and thought that, well, it should be the way it should be in other lands. Okay, if everybody is being estimated to be close to 1 point something million bank accounts that will be taken over, not frozen now. There's a difference between freezing the account and taking it over. What it means if it is frozen is that when you meet all the conditions, like Toby has issues with his bank, but if it takes him, say, 3 years to solve that, to resolve that, then after that third year, he will go to the bank, ask his money, possibly with the interest there. But like the court judgment is saying, federal government should, the banks, those money should be forfeited to the federal government. It means after 3 years, if Toby goes back to the bank and says, I've resolved all those queries you issued, the bank will simply tell him, you no longer have any money with us. So,
well, I think what the federal government is simply trying to do is to mop up looted funds stashed across various accounts and banks across the country. But of course, you cannot just, believe that every trapped cash in an account that is not linked to the BVN, which is domiciled at the CBN, is a looted fund. For Christ's sake, so there are some people who have issues, and some who are out of the country for some reason. There are some people who are dead, who their members of family or next of kin don't even know that they have these monies in this account. So it might be difficult for us to actually ascertain who actually stole federal government money or stole money and stashed in an account. But that may be the reason why federal government is trying to do this. But a lot of people have disagreed with this, saying that you cannot just issue such an order saying that people will forfeit this money.
so to be in defense of the federal government's action or the central bank's action, some people are saying we have been given enough time to settle this issue of BVN. First, it was 1 year, extended to 3 months, extended to another 3 months. That's 18 months, well, that should be enough for everybody to have been able to get a BVN. But the truth is, there are so many people, of course, officially, like I told you, over 1 million are still there without a BVN. But the suspicion too, for the other side of the argument, is that many of these people are residents in the villages.
Yes.
The microfinance account, which many people in the village are using as their own bank, which is very convenient for them, do not operate the BVN. It's not compulsory that you have a BVN before operating. Those are issues some people say the government or the court did not look at. But out of everybody talking, nobody has gone back to the court to challenge this. That is another difference between us and the developed country. We will have people who have gone to the court to challenge that for these different reasons and say, hey man, you cannot do this for so reason. So, but as it stands, in the next 24 hours, in the next bearing any change of mind of the central bank or the federal government, this may happen. We'll try and get in touch with some ex-bankers. It's been difficult to get bankers who wants to talk about it, understandably so, but some ex-bankers will speak, and maybe we also look at it from the legal angle. What can be done at this point to stop that? While we are trying to do that over the phone, let's open the telephone lines for you, the listeners. If you are concerned, if you know somebody who's concerned, and what do you think can be done? Well, should I say to remedy this or to amend this situation? Let's start that way by getting your calls, your tweets, and of course messages via the short code.
The numbers to call remain 0809-868-7344, 0909-146-967.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
My name is Johnson Olufatuki, calling from Abeokuta.
Right, thank you.
The first question that we should ask ourselves: what is the basic reason or factors of this policy? That is, all customers will have this BVN. The issue is to really know and identify who opens account. If an account is fraudulently opened, if it has ulterior motives, the person that actually opened that account will be traced and will be able to actions to be taken against such person. I sincerely believe the decision of the CBN, whom the federal government, is right, because the fraudulent people, or even all these blackmailers, the hijackers, they will open accounts, instructing people pay social account before.
Honorable Fatoki, what about, let's look at it from the other side too. Those in the grassroots villagers, there are some people who are just by natural coincidence or accidentally have not been able to do this genuinely. Would it not have been right to consider their situation, the circumstances, freeze the account rather than forfeit the account? That's what we're looking at. Freeze rather than forfeit.
I will explain. Now, if the government had given enough time lag, initially it was a year, it was extended to another 1 year, and what does it take to register this BVN? You cannot even spend 30 minutes or maximum, by the time it started, the maximum hour you can stay is 1 hour. If you go to the bank, you can't stay there for more than 30 minutes. Anybody who genuinely open an account, the time you took to open an account is
thank you, Honorable Fatoki. Remember the time. Let's take the next call. Hello. Hello, somebody.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
My name is Aki Lega.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I support what the federal government is doing, because if you look at the nation, Nigeria, the rate of corruption is so high, and they are hiding under these things to excuse. Nigeria has so much in this country. Don't see them small moves, they will go live. So it's better to start block process. They are giving them enough notice to go and adjust. No matter where you are in the world, even if you are under the soil, you are giving more than enough time. I think Buhari should go ahead. I support him.
No, it's not Buhari this time. It's the federal government.
Okay.
That's why I
said go ahead.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Because you should reduce corruption to the barest minimum.
All right. Federal government, not Buhari. All right. 0809-8687-344. Morning. Good morning. You are on. All right. 32120. That's for those who uses the short code but you need to type ROCK. That's rock first before you type that message. After that, you send it to 32120. Yes, citizens from Daybreak Show. Hello.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, sir. Morning.
Kasalino, this is my name.
Thank you.
I'm calling from Ukepon. Yeah, I support those who refuse to have the BVN up to this time. They are the corrupt people.
No, that
Yeah,
please that's an unsubstantiated claim, please.
Okay.
Don't assume.
Okay.
Thank you.
The account should be forfeited by the government. I support it.
Forfeited to the government, you meant. All right, thank you. Okay. Opinions, divergent opinions. Yes, what's on the line? All right, don't forget you can also reach us via the short code 32120, or you have to just type rock, ROCK, leave a space, type your message, include your name, and send to 32120.
Funab,
All right, sir.
please, I'm begging federal government in the name of God. I'm a very poor man. I registered. I opened an account in Lagos. That was about 7 years ago. I operate that account to the extent about 3 years ago that I come to this Abiyakuta. It's not up to 3 years. I'm sorry. That I come to this Abiyakuta. I lost my wallet. That wallet contained my voter's card, my national ID card, my personal ID card, even my I can't even mention my document inside the wallet. Now there is money inside that account and I can't withdraw. Now when I went to withdraw that account, the money, they say I should do BVN. Now I do the BVN. I explained to them that I lost my wallet with everything inside. They say I should go to local government and get voter's card. I went to local government. Local government said I should bring national ID card before they can do voter's card for me. I have to go to
vote that you should bring the national ID card before INEC registers you.
Yes, that I should bring national ID card before they can give me. Up to today that I'm talking to, I can't get any of those documents.
I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm not Israeli. Does your name sounds Ghanaian or Cameroonian?
But what I mean is my money is there. Now they want to forfeit that money. A very poor man like me, they want to forfeit my money. Okay. Because they didn't give me my national ID card. They didn't give me voter's card. So I can't get anyone. And now they plan to forfeit my money.
So you have not been able to do the BVN thing?
Yes.
Okay, now, you know what? Your name again, please.
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel.
Yes, they said
Emmanuel, hold on.
Yes.
Let me give you one way out. Just try this if it works. I pray it works. Now go to the NIMC office at Okemoson. That is the National Identity Management Commission. Okay? It's at Okemoson. Alright? Tell them you want to register and have the NIN. That is the National Identification Number. Okay? They'll do data capture and then they will start the process. It should take, give or take, 2 or 3 days. All right, they will issue a national identification number for you and print out a slip that will carry your passport photograph. That is proof of citizenship, and then you now have an NIN. With your NIN, you can do anything. You can now take that slip to your bank, all right, as identification. And you can use that, or to the local government. You can also do that to initiate your driver's license, to get an ID at the FRSC and of course at the Inter-Revenue Service, and you can also use that to register with INEC to get your voter's card. At least they'll give you a temporary one. So driver's license, they give you a temporary driver's license which is valid for 2 months. Temporary voter's card, they'll give you that one which you can also use for any bank transaction.
Do you understand this?
Yes, I understand.
So
I will start the process. I will start the process.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, Tobi. This is the issue. One,
because tomorrow is
that's the point. So can he meet?
Just start.
Two. The NIMC you said 3 days. I thought it should be
instantly. Well, it should, but sometimes a lot of people who are always on the queue trying to do it,
and then
they
that
have
will
to generate.
it for 24.
I'm just being,
Well, I'm sure the NIMC people, the NIMC people are also listening. We appreciate if you can call in.
It should be done in 2 days, actually.
Update us on that. I expect that it should be instantly.
Instantly.
You could spend hours, the entire day, working hours.
Yes.
I think you should be able to do it immediately. But whether it will meet tomorrow's deadline
is another issue.
Okay, morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
This is there's one particular thing I want to mention, please, sir. The fact where is this? This is the federal government that said everybody should come for ₦1 million within 3 months. No, in Nigeria, at least pay back to collect that money.
National cake now. The national cake.
Okay, thank you. So for this type of an issue that is going to regulate certain things in the nation's economy, I cannot understand why somebody should tell or probably have it at the back of mind is not necessary. There should be a punishment for any offense or hiring individual. If you know you have your money genuinely, it takes you no time. We that are 1,000 years, we've gone there, we've done all the universities, and the federal government is looking into different accounts. They know it is this bank account that has huge amount of money that never had anybody to be identified with. That's why, and actually, I think they came up with this idea.
That's an assumption. That's an assumption. They are only going to look at accounts with big money.
I said, I think. I'm not saying it's like that. I think it is those that have the back money that never at least go there to get them identified with their account.
You are still saying the same thing. Yes, 10,000 naira to some people. It's the value is more than 10 million naira. If you see somebody's 10,000 naira now,
but I only believe if it's a national case, we will all go for it.
All right, thank you for being a party. Well, like you said, the facts are there really. Again, in support of the BVN. The BVN has helped a lot to iron out and straighten so many things.
A lot of things.
It's a good yes. Hello, somebody. Hello, you are on. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, morning.
Yes, my name is Lawal.
All right, thank you, Lawal.
If someone goes to the national, to go and register for national ID card, you get it that very day, provided that person go there with the required documents. But before you even register...
Do you need documents again to do the NIM?
Yeah? Do
you need documents to go there and register for the NIM?
No, I mean, number one, you will need the BVN and your passport.
To register for the national identity number?
Yes, they are demanding for BVN now.
Okay.
That's the new rule now.
Okay.
And the man needs it for BVN. So that is it now.
That's interesting. So he needs the hen and he does not like the egg, or he cannot get the egg. How will they solve that? Okay. All right, Lawal, thank you for that, another information. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you.
This is Valentine.
Valentine. Yes, Valentine, you are on.
I'm in support of this news, but I'm only afraid of the consequences because most of these money owners are like as you said earlier, some of them have died. And these are our common ways of operating banks in this country. The bank owners will never pay the next of things because they are using that money for their own profit. So what happens to people that have this money at the end of the day? The government is going to account and people. What are they going to do to make sure that these people get this money?
All right, thank you. Short code number 32120. After those who do not know their date of birth, I think they are in real trouble. All right. Okay.
There are so many people in that category.
Those who are born ready for working day and All right, can
we were born when the war started.
Okay, can we check the messages?
Okay, some messages are actually trickling in, but I think we just take this one first before we come to it.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, morning.
Hello, good. It's Dele and Tobi here. Go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Dele and Mr. Tobi.
Good morning, sir.
Talking about this BDN of the team, I think this CBN, they are not consistent, with their policy. There is policy somersault CBN because the last time we went to the bank to register for our BBN, when there was mass to the bank, there was stampede. They said that if you don't register by so date, your account will be blocked. That necessitated some of us left the bank. Now they are telling us that some people have not registered, that if they don't register, they are going to block their account. If I were to be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will issue a equivalent governor. Why is it there is some policy somersault in our country? So I think they have been sanctioned since last year or 2 years ago that they gave us ultimatums. This thing wouldn't have occurred. I know the idea is to flush out those people with those accounts. I know it's a welcome development, but it ought to have been done since. And secondly, Mr. Tobi, please, there is a fraudulent message spreading across, our phone that our BVN has been blocked by central bank, that we should send our account number or account details.
Yes, and if you watch, you see that those messages are sent from a particular number that is different, that is not automated like that of CBN or your bank. You understand? That message is not to be sent by CBN. It should come from your bank. Do you understand? So when you see 081143 something sending you such a message, just ignore, all right, or you block the line.
Both of us were enlightened. That's why we are saying this. But
yes.
We have some of our people that
are not
enlightened.
Yes.
So let us use this medium to be, sending that
to sensitize.
It should be ignored. It is uncalled for. They are criminals.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, those are first.
Tobi, it's not even the banks. What they do now, the bank do not even send text message.
Yes.
Your how do they call it? The person in charge of your account will call you.
They will call you.
So they don't even send any text message, either automated or not. What they'll do is the person managing your account will call you to tell you of issues that you have with your bank. And so just ignore any message from that. I've been receiving that kind of message for almost 6 months now, almost every day. But I don't bother myself, so don't bother yourself. Quickly, Tobi, before we change, but let me just try from Timitao's submission again, add to this issue. We are actually looking at the court order now. Is a court order asking the central bank, of course, the central bank by policy is the one monitoring or giving fiscal policies to the banks to forfeit all accounts that does not have a BVN to the federated account, that's the account of the central bank. And this came up as a result of a suit instituted by the AGF, Attorney General of the Federation. The federal government, or this current government, started what they call the TSH, the Single Treasury Account. That, and of course the BVN, so far that's the bank verification number, is just like what they will call the DNA. So each account holder has his own BVN that cannot be duplicated. So if you like, you can have 16 different accounts, unlike before. You can have those 16 different accounts with different names. You can even have each one, but all those 16, you can still have your 16 accounts, but will have the same identity, the same phone number, the same fingerprint, the same photograph, the same address, and every other vital security information. That's what the BVN does. So the current administration began that, and again, in addition to the TSA, and like I said earlier on, the facts are there that it has helped to control fraud, even to small, ordinary, okay, I don't like using the word ordinary people, those who don't have huge, fat bank accounts, you've been saved with the BVN. So it's been a good thing. So I think to aid the war against corruption, the AGF, Attorney General of the Federation, went to the court, and the court granted that prayer. So that's where we are, and the deadline is tomorrow. So for anybody who's not done, and the banks have told us there are over 1,000,000, 1.2, they said, people whose account do not have a BVN. So it means every couple in that account will now belong to the federal government. That's the issue we are looking. It's nothing to do with politics. It's nothing to do with controlling people's accounts. I think it's part of the fiscal politics. It's not the banks that went to court, but people have also said individuals, Nigerians, should have also or can challenge that court order too on behalf of those who are involved. But you must have a local standing, like they say. You must be involved. You must be concerned before you can seek for that prayer that you want that court judgment quashed. Okay, we'll still take all. We are ready with the messages.
All right, this one says, if the owner of such account has died, but unknowingly to the family, their father operated such account, can they contact his next of kin before taking any step? Building from Abiyokuta.
That's exactly what we are saying. By tomorrow, that will be over.
But it has to be before then, and that's why these forms from these banks always leave a space for the next of kin's contact, so they can call.
I think the point Ayodo is also making, Tobi, is the bank can't begin to contact these people.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They should be able to call the next of kin. Yes. But there are some people who don't even link this account with any next of kin. There are some of our babas. I don't want anybody to know that they kept 1 million.
That's the headache.
1 million somewhere. All right, Abdurashid Okela says, for how long would they give people to do it? The truth is that our people are fraudulent. We will do all things to destabilize and truncate whatever. How could it be easy for a villager that find it easy to open a bank account, but find it uneasy to have?
No, okay, for those who are in the villages, what they operate is the micro finance thing. They just put their money. They don't even have any time. They know them. The operators know them, so they don't even need any identification to collect their money when they get there. The difficulty is you cannot send somebody, and even if you are sort of the operator will have known that person, Tobi Dele, so he is here to collect the money on behalf of the mother. So they know there are so many people like that. Honestly, don't let us think because we live in the cities that the situation is the same. There are people who operate it, not the regular commercial banking you do, but the usual, which is an accepted form of banking, and they don't do it with a bet. The other now is that you must now have a BVI to even do that.
All right, let's continue with the messages. This one says, why do Nigerians always take things for granted? The government give us more than enough time to have the BVN. I think the order should be enforced. Talk where Daniel sent in that message. My name is Ade. Do you know that you still need your BVN to register for your national ID? I'm talking from experience. Yes, it is true. When you are registering for the national identity identification number, they will ask for your BVN.
That's the advantage of doing this thing. I did mine about 4 years ago. The fact that I was not asked to bring anything. They just asked me questions and I answered the questions. That they didn't ask me to bring anything. So maybe they've changed it. I've done mine for about 4 years now, even though I don't have the card yet. But they've told me the number on the slip is my national identity number. Yes.
All right, keep your messages coming. 32120 is a shortcut number. Type rock, leave a space, type your message, include your name, and send to 32120. And don't forget, you can also tweet your contributions or questions. All you have to do is to link up with us on Twitter at RockCityFM is our Twitter handle. All right, James Jibade tweeted this. Mr. Toby, you can't register an IMC without BVN or means of identification that carries your birth date. The man should go to court for affidavit. Well, James, don't confuse what Emmanuel was talking about. What Emmanuel was talking about was trying to update his account details.
Yes.
It's different from registering BVN. When you register BVN, you do it at a bank. Do you understand? So you have a BVN number. There are two categories of people: those who have not registered BVN at all, and those who are yet to update their account details or link the BVN when they registered with other bank accounts. So there are so many people who have who are in that category. If you are trying to link your other account with your BVN, then you don't need all this stress. All you need to do is just to provide the BVN and the account name or the name you use to register the BVN, and then they will link it up. But if you've not done your BVN at all, then you have to rush to do that at any of the bank you bank with. Then NIMC, of course, you have to submit your BVN number before you can get registered. That is basic. Professor Agola says, I strongly support the move by the federal government on BVN. It is necessary and sufficient to curb corruption. Oshumiwa Fatai says, I can bet it, the rural people have complied. Only the guilty that fear to link their BVN to all their abandoned accounts. James Ajibari once again says, I will advocate freezing the account instead of forfeiture. We can't fight crime by committing crime. Federal government should tread softly. Okay, he's saying freeze the account, but not total forfeiture. Oshumiwa Fatai says, my concern is about the way we genuinely argue an issue. At times we ignorantly open the door for criminals to have their way. All right, Oshumiwa Fatai sent in that one. All right, let's go back to the calls. We'll come back to the tweets and the messages later. At Rock City FM is the Twitter handle. And of course, our short code remains 32120. All you have to do is to type rock, ROCK, leave a space, type your message, include your name, and send to 32120.
All right, we have somebody. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Dele. Please, this is still Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, we're sorry, we cannot break the rule. You can use the short code. Yes, just drop whatever you want to say via either the short code.
Your question, whatever, you send it to 32120.
Whatever the issue that you think you need clarification. Thank you. Hello. 090. Somebody, good morning. 09091469670 or 080. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Morning.
I'm very good from Twitter. That man, Emmanuel, is a liar.
Sorry, okay. We are sorry.
Sorry.
We can't continue with that. You don't have the right to insult. Just give your own opinion. I'm sorry, so we won't continue with that call.
All right, we have more messages trickling in. This one says, Ade is my name. Dele, did you know that the bank don't accept temporary national identity card? They will say that it is not verifiable. Excuse me. Yes, a temporary national identity card may give you issues, but of course, you can use your national identification number. That is if you do not have any other ID. Okay, if you don't have any other ID, voter's card, driver's license, international passport, then you can use your identification number. Because everything is, you see, by 2018, all this will be linked. You won't even be able to get an international passport if you don't have a national identification number. You won't be able to do any transaction or carry out any transaction if you don't have a BVN and all these things. So I think basically what the federal government also needs to do is to, link all these all these numbers and all that, and then make sure that it becomes easy for anyone. You have someone on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, Carol.
That's a question. I need assistance here.
What is the issue? Kilo Shele.
There's a crisis in Ogosun. So we want you to please come and...
What's the crisis about?
No, Ogosun. What is Ogosun?
Ogosun is along the Black Road.
Okay, Ogosun River Basin. So what is the crisis? Quickly.
The crisis is that the staff is an electrical table. There's no light. And you put on solar.
All right, sorry. Sorry, well, we won't take that today. You can send that tomorrow or contact the appropriate authorities. We can't take that. I thought it's an emergency. It's not. It's not an emergency. Hello. Hello. Good morning. 08098687344 and 090914697670. 9670. Of course, the shortcut is there for you to also use. 3210, that's the number to send that message to after you have typed ROCK. That's the first thing you have to do before you type your opinion. Remember, only 2 minutes maximum allocation.
My name is Dr. Kontimusa, which is from Africa.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, the issue of this division that you are talking about, that we are going to link to all the international passports, what have you, in 2018. But what happened to the minor? The minor.
It's straightforward, sir. Minor, you said it. Minor, that's straightforward. The minor who are exempted from so many other things by law. For instance, as a minor, you are not expected to have a national passport. You are not expected to have a voter's card. As a minor, it's even an offense. You are not expected to have a driver's license. As a minor, it's an offense. So that's straightforward.
For a minor, if you have a minor who has an account already, all you need to do is to link it with your own account.
With your own account,
you can link that account with your own BVN. It's permitted by the bank.
The parents, you just link it with the parents' BVN.
All right, we take a breather. Okay, we have a call already. Let's take this before we go on a break. Hello.
Hello.
Hello,
good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
I think I'm what it is to you.
Yes, you are.
Hello.
You are.
Am I on to what?
Yes, you are. Please, quickly. We need to take the break.
Please, can you please assist me? I'm calling from Ogo.
No, if it has to do with you don't have light or anything, sorry. Keep that till tomorrow. Keep that till tomorrow. Keep that till tomorrow, open day. So we won't take that today. Yes, please. We can't take that today if it's an issue of Ogo does not have light or So except it's an emergency. That's not an emergency. Almost everybody. We don't have light here too. We must say so.
All right, we take this one. Hello. Okay, we lost that. All right, we'll be back after this short break for the national news at 10. Stay with us.
Heaven is under the earth.
All right, thank you. This is the Daybreak Show, Citizens Forum on Rock City 101.9 FM, the second day of the month of November 2017. We are talking about the court order permitting the Central Bank of Nigeria to, from the close of work tomorrow, take over all bank accounts. Well, when I say bank account, including the monies in there of any Nigerian without the bank verification number, the one we call the BVN. This is as a result of the action instituted by the Attorney General of the Federation, asking the court to declare that as a way of strengthening the corruption war of the federal government. Well, the fact remains that the BVN has actually helped in that corruption war. However, some Nigerians have reacted swiftly to that, that is too authoritarian. Rather than take over the account, you can freeze the account and allow those who have not been able to finish with the BVN to do so, and then continue with the operations of the account rather than taking over the account. Well, there are also some genuine cases or good cases defense of this argument. It's not as simple as you look at it. Those who are involved are the ones who know the stress and the negative implications this has on them and their business. As in fact, again, it's been expected that about 1.2 million of such accounts exist in Nigeria, and that amounts into several millions of naira, which will now go into what we call the TSA. That's the Federation account of the federal government. This is what we are looking at, and a lot of people have been speaking about it. Tobi, there is one thing that came up from that's what of course during the first part. When you talk about problems, issues arising from this BVN, non-linking. There are some people where you could have more than one bank account genuinely for some reason. Some people will say they don't like operating with this bank, but because that is where their employers pay their salaries to, that's why they keep that bank. And they have already, before the existence of the other one, been operating social bank accounts. Like I said, genuinely require reason for having more than one bank account. And if you have been operating the first one with the name of, for instance, Ayodo Dele Ayodo, and then the second one by something or somehow it is Dele Ayodo,
yes.
then there comes
You have
the
to
problem.
update, yes.
So that updating itself is not as easy or simple as we just mentioned.
Yes.
So there are some people who are in that category. So what it
Yes.
simply means is that the ones, let's say it is Dele Ayodo that has the BVN, and you have to link the Ayodo Dele. So that means the Ayodo Dele, the account bearing Ayodo Dele will go.
Or if you don't want, if you still want to retain the account, what you do is that you go to the bank where you registered your BVN, and then you come up with a sworn affidavit at the court indicating that change that name which you now want the account to now be. They will effect the change in their database. First, the account name, inform CBN to change it in the BVN, and then you can then go to the bank you want to link. So that's a long
I have
process.
somebody who tried to do this for up to a month.
Yes.
It's always asking him because the bank asking him to
bring that
every day.
yes.
For 2 months he was still on this. At the point he was almost frustrated. How much did I have in the account? Let me let him go. So that I just give this scenario for those who think it's as simple as just go and do it now. Why have you not done it? All right, we go back, take calls, messages from you.
009-868-7344 0909-146-9670. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Dele.
Thank you, sir.
How are you, sir?
We're fine.
Mr. Tobi.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm Taiwan, your body. South corner area, Jeja Town. Mr. Tobi, you remember what happened during the pension scandal? So many accounts are opened by officers in the pension office. Those accounts, about I think running to 100, if not 1,000, if not 1,000. They pass money from pension funds into these accounts. Some of us pension were stopped because of this fraudulent practice. So I want to bring the government. I want to thank them for introducing this CBN. But look at the post. All your fingerprints will be taken. Your picture will be taken. Then it means you cannot open another account in such a manner. We are not in Switzerland where you can only use code. And they won't know you. They won't get your picture. Your name will not be disclosed to anybody. That's why you have various money coming from various nations into Switzerland. And your money is in Switzerland there, languishing, of no use. That's why thank God they are just returning some to us. So anybody that refuses to open do his BBN, well, that is no palaver. Let the money be processed to federal government. If you don't have any ulterior motive, if the account is not a ghost one, you should be able to open BBN. Thank you very much. Kudos to federal government.
All right, thank you.
God bless you.
0909146967. Hello. Hello, morning. We have somebody there. Good morning. Hello. All right. Let's. Hello. You are on.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
My name is Abdul Father from Abidjan. Yeah, it is a court order and it must be followed to the letter. That's all. I don't know why people will say they've not leaked or they have an excuse like this time. After it's a junior excuse, then that will act as a special solution. Of course, it is a court order, not a letter.
Mr. Lamlekon, apart from it being a court order, we are also looking at this. Which one should have been better? Freezing the account or taking over the account? The federal government wants to take over the account. So people have said, no, what should have been done is to freeze the account.
Well, to me, I will have even prefer that the account should be taken over totally. Totally, no people fix.
Don't worry, you don't need the totally there. You are saying it like
wait, when they say to do one and you don't do one, then what you do is one. So when the government has said do this, you must be able to follow this. And we won't say the one the government is not something to be good. Whoever has a excuse, I'm repeating, it is a court order. You can approach in a special way. For without any reason, don't even come. That's my thing.
0098687344.
Calling from Mandela Way.
Thank you.
Mr. Dele? Hello, sir.
Mr. Big Daddy.
Yeah, please, I want to understand what is the meaning of frozen the account or taking over the account. So I mean that if it frozen, you will still allow me to put more money.
If it is frozen, yes, but you can't operate it. That's what it means. You can't put in, you can't take out. But anytime you want, anytime you've answered the queries, anytime you've satisfied the bank, then you can now go back and operate it. That's what frozen means.
Okay, taking over the account.
Taking over means you have lost the money. You have lost the account.
Okay.
You don't go enter federal government post.
I know. Hello, sir.
Sir?
I know that whatever thing happens, those accounts, it still belongs to those people that owns Nigeria. Because Nigeria is not for me and you.
No, Nigeria is for me. I don't know about you, America. Nigeria is for me.
Okay, no problem.
I know that very well. Nigeria is for me. And I think you should also think along that line, America. Nigeria is for you. Yes.
You are forcing me to say
Nigeria is for you, America.
Thank you very much. Well, I know to close the account could have been better. Because the person may come and give genuine reason why you haven't taken, why you haven't do the BVN. So that is my answer this morning.
All right, thank you. Let's start a while with the calls so we quickly do justice to the Twitter messages. Larry Adeyemi tweeted this. Dele and Tobi, I am supposed to call, but I don't have the numbers. But you can enroll without BVN if you not having. Okay? I think what Larry is trying to say is that if you do not have the BVN yet, you can enroll at the NIMC. Richie Odari says, I'm not in Nigeria and I've been abroad for over 3 years. What will happen to my account?
Yeah, sorry, you are part of those. You are part of those they are targeting.
Alariwaju Ajayi says, please, you should allow the caller from Ogonsho to talk and not disconnect him. Who knows? If
sorry, we are not even reading that message. Tobi, please skip that message. It's distracting us. Skip it, please.
Sunday Iloye says it's okay. I think that's has to be good take earlier. Yami Da Vinci says, what happens with cases of people who died interstate and the family has not finished sharing the property? This is a bad idea. I interpret this maybe an issue as government trying to punish citizens for its own shortcomings of preventing corruption and crime. Where in the world has the government gone on a wanton stealing of citizens' money? What happened to freezing such accounts? We miss the senior advocate of the masses, Chief Gade Fayemi. This is the kind of dictatorship we were warned against. The price of freedom is eternal vigilance. Nigerians will disappoint me greatly if they allow this unconstitutional court order. If federal government was a serious government, it would have traced money used by Boko Haram and not harass innocent civilians. Is there any Nigerians? Is there any way Nigerians can also sue the government to forfeit some of its assets for failure to provide basic amenities to Nigerians? These tweets are from Yemi Da Vinci. All right, let's quickly.
I think Yemi, you can. The question is, I don't know if you have what they call the local stand. You as an individual
can sue
the
government, any
yes,
government,
any government. You can sue.
or any government agency,
Yes.
as it were. All you need is to provide
The
a
local standing means
in
if
the
you have
court.
evidence that you have been affected
Yes.
by this.
All right, this message from Adewale says, yes, the federal government of Nigeria calls for everybody to come for 1 million naira each. People will rush for the national cake. Federal government will make it hard for the poor and non-privileged. Okay, and this one says, government should not promote illegality in the name of BVN enforcement. It is legal for people to have money as enshrined in the Constitution. Government should not act on mere policy of CBN. If they wish to forfeit people's money, they should sponsor a bill to make such policy a law. Taiwo Torunopo from Ashero sent in that. The money should go to the Internal Revenue Service, okay, Moson, to obtain tax identification number card. He will get it immediately. He can use it in the bank. That's Lawal, okay? That's another one being
the question is, does he pay tax?
Because you have to provide evidence of tax payments before you can be issued a tax identification number card. All right, Fola from Mulomori says, I will appreciate it if this message is broadcast. Please save a life. There is a death trap around Ayodere after Obadaoko, a very big pothole and a lot of commuters that are unaware. It just caused accident and can cause accident. Okay, that's Fola from Olomori. All right, it's strange and laughable that the AGF could sue the CBN against its own policy. I expect CBN and 46 million affected Nigerians to approach a court to set this obnoxious order aside because it's inconsistent with the laws of Nigeria. Did the federal government consider those that are sick and those that are in prison? Taiwo Torodokwe sent in that message. Okay, let's see if we have Facebook comments on this particular issue. Abimbola Muhyiddin Taiwo says, in the case of loss of required certificates to register for BVN, a court affidavit and police report of loss of documents can be used for the registration. There shouldn't be any argument on this. So linking your BVN has been made easy. You can dial *565 *2# on your phone to link your BVN to your account from anywhere you are, even if you are abroad, provided your SIM is roamed. Also, for those claiming that they have not registered for BVN, the notification of BVN has been on since almost 4 years ago. I don't know why someone will still be unregistered yet. All right, thank you for the Facebook comments. Keep sending your messages to 32120. Type rock, leave a space, type your message, include your name, and send to 32120. At Rock City FM is our Twitter handle. Keep tweeting, and you can drop by on our Facebook fan page to post your comments.
And again, the telephone numbers. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, morning.
Good morning, Mr. Dele.
Good morning.
Just to back what you just said about
your name, sir.
Sorry, I'm I'm doing on the line from America.
Thank you, sir.
I had the issue about what you just said about using two different names. On my first bank, like using cousin and cousin. So where I did the BVN, I registered as cousin. So go and update in another place, I use cousin. So they asked me to go for the affidavit. And when I did it, immediately before the issue. So just to back what you just said, it's happening like that as well. So that's just my take.
All right. Thank you. 0809 868 7344.
Is the name calling from Abel. I joined you a little bit late after the news, but I met your explanations of the difficulty in integrating your somebody's BVN going around. Well, that is one of the shortfalls of lack of in the country. And the mistake, seriously, from one indication, is from that bank customer. Where
you have to operate officially. You have to maintain consistency in your name, the way they are spelled, and all other data. It is not the fault of the bank. But where it is becoming difficult for you to rate your system, particularly with the bank in question, the best option at the time when it was becoming recurrent was to close that account and open another one in the exact names that you want. You cannot take your take and have it. I am against confiscation of the savings, for instance. I am for freezing, but I don't want to. I don't want government or for us to get indulged to believe that we can just sit with us levy. This thing has been on for about 3 years or so. Even those in diaspora, banks went outside. The records are there. Of course, some people are in diaspora legally, they cannot come home. But they have a way of sending money in, and they have people that operate for them. You can close your account if you want to. But the issue is, we are in this quagmire now because there is a suspicion, I suspect, from the government that some people in the banks and they are, I think, with criminal intention or criminal intent, and some are stealing money. Such government wants to kind of impound such accounts. But some people are falling into the trap along the line. Innocent citizens. This should not be. Freezing, like we have been arguing, should have been the best approach. And whoever is able to resuscitate his account through the necessary data will have it reopened. I hope some people will go to court to challenge it. Doesn't mean the end. The government has said it's going through the courts. You can appeal it within the time frame necessary such that it can go to freezing. But to just leave it open-handed, I don't think it's a good idea. After all, some people are still opening account and getting BVN now. What stops you for over the years from doing? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you too. Tomorrow is the deadline for this. And for the day, Tobi, that is interesting for some of us, Yorubas really, almost all of us, we have that name. For instance, my full name is Ayodo Dele, and there are people, that Ayodo can be broken into five.
Yes.
And there are people who will just call me Ayo, and
yes.
answer. And there are people who say Ayobami, and
it's
answer.
not the same when it comes to bank accounts.
So, sometimes even me, I really write the full thing, except when I see this is official.
Yes.
So, sometimes,
so there are people who have, as a matter of fact, that is what I faced, because you realize that sometimes you just shorten it to either Tobi or Tobi.
Exactly.
Whereas when all valid documents are carrying Oluwa to Bloba, so you have no choice than to change.
And the truth is, the bank they would not take Oluwatobiloba as Tobi.
As Tobi, no.
So they are
because the name could be written in 5 different ways.
No, there are people who come behind your answer. That's so many people. And that's okay. Hello.
Good morning, Tobi.
Morning.
I am Wahid. I'm from Abeokuta.
Thank you.
Yes, I will go in line with what Alajola Animashaun said, but I will only disagree with him on the issue of closing accounts. I will not subscribe to federal government freezing the account of the people, but a total taking over of the account. I will subscribe to that, because when we are talking, we'll be comparing Nigeria with other countries. They're forgetting that we're having a kind of serious issue here. We have our peculiarities, very precarious situation in Nigeria. So we also we need a very good solution. We need a good solution to some of these problems we are having. So if federal government is saying, oh, we will freeze these accounts, the accounting of some of these accounts will also have a way of changing the federal government. As it was, the accounting officers are also helping some of these people who are investing our money to save their money to do some of the things that are inimical to the progress of this country. So some of these bank officers too, so they are also collaborators. So they are heading some of this corruption that we are also talking about. Let the federal government take over all these accounts. It is not the federal government just wake up and say we are handing over. The usual time, the time frame, between so and so time, we will fix this account. If you know your account is very, very good to you, If you know you have something to do with your account, if you know you cherish your account, if you know you don't want to lose your account, you will have done the needful before that expiry date. In fact, we are talking of this business too. They give us about 4 years. Now, I think when they started, now it's about 4 years, and they give us enough time. When the bank said, oh, we'll stop this business, we went to court, and the court said, oh, give them, don't have the time limit. Continue to register as the will. So, up to this moment, they can still do that. Or to corruption that federal government is trying to fight. So, I will support the taking over of your account. You know you cherish your account, you know you have something to do with your account. Go and quickly have your business. Perfect it.
Why you are assuming that those who do not have BVN right now are doing so deliberately, or they are just being lackadaisical about the process? That's the assumption that is their fault. Somebody just said he's been abroad for about 3 years, and where somebody who also said they lost somebody, and they because they need to perfect something before they can do anything with their account too.
But we correct a whole lot of things. If you are traveling out of the country without perfected, now you are here, you cannot come back home because you illegally into.
He's still abroad from his message. He's still abroad.
You said what?
The person is still abroad. He sent a message.
The person is still at home.
Abroad, he's still out of the country. He's not in the country.
It is the federal government fault or his fault. So it is federal government that will give him money to go and do the needful on his account.
Thank you.
I think it's not federal government business.
All right, thank you.
They have been giving time, and if the time.
All right, thank you. We have your 2 minutes off. Thank you.
And Babati tweeted this. It's a good step in the right direction. Where there is no law, there can be an offense. Government has given an instruction. It should be followed. Time frame has been given for the completion of linking accounts with BVN. Nigerians need to show discipline by complying. It's obvious that a lot of illicit funds are loitering around the bank accounts, and the owners have refused to claim them because of BVN. Mr. Ayodo, maybe the person you talked about has an issue with his bank account or information. There has to be a complication somewhere. It took me no time to link my BVN with 2.
You're actually correct. We were told there were complications. As I speak, they have not told us what the complication is. So what they kept telling us is we are awaiting response from Central Bank. We are awaiting response from Central Bank. If we don't get response, we cannot move forward.
All right, Babati is to say most of these issues are with the names either by spelling or shortening the names. All right, that's Babati tweeting all those. Eniola Bekunle says, I think federal government should look in the direction of freezing this account for a specific period for the holder to come for claim. All right, that's Eniola Bekunle. All right, let's go to the short code messages. This one says, who am I to question the government? Let them go ahead and do their wish, if that will make corruption to rest in peace. Well, Mr. Dele, do you know that this issue is already creating another corruption because some bankers are collecting money from people in order to help them?
That's the Nigerian. It's not impossible.
Okay.
It's not impossible. I won't, even though I don't have a fact, but I won't argue against it.
What happens to those in diaspora? Shouldn't they be given longer time? That's comfort from Ibarra. Good morning. I would suggest that they should freeze the account and give them some months to do the BVN. And those who then fail to do that should then be taken over. Thank you. Abe from Saraki sent in that. IK from Info says, is this court order meant for all Nigerians or only the common man? What of our politicians? Are they part of this? Please, I want clarification on the issue of 2 accounts because I've done BVN for the 2 accounts. Shiwaju Shogule. Well, Ashwani Shogule, you can't register BVN in 2 different banks. You can only register in one bank, and then you ask the other bank to link.
That's what you're talking
because
about.
they will even see it that you have a
You've
BVN
done
already.
it, yes.
All right. This other one says, what happens to someone that has been in prison for the past 3 years and has 4 more years to stay in prison? Should the inmate forfeit his money to federal government?
That's another
Well, Yenka, sure, the prisoner must have a next of kin Hopefully.
Do they allow the next of kin to go, and when the person is still alive, because you have to prove that the person is not alive before the next of kin can be permitted to do anything on behalf of that's the way it goes.
Well, I know that there is a form in your bank that allows either the next of kin to be a signatory. If hopefully the holder of the account actually indicated that it can be a signatory.
That's the thing, you understand. So if the person did not indicate that it can be a signatory, the next of kin can only come in when the person is dead.
Is dead, yes. So if the next of kin is not a signatory, I'm sorry.
So these are some
there
of
might
those
be issues. Yeah, there might be issues. All right, let's see if we can squeeze in just one more call.
Yes.
And that'll wrap it up for us.
Okay, we have somebody, yes. The lucky person. Hello.
Tobi, good morning.
Morning.
Dele, good morning.
Morning.
Yomi is my name.
Thank you, sir.
This morning.
Thank you for calling.
To start with, I'll say I'll prefer the federal government to keep a tab on the account, not outright forfeiture. For reasons as follows. One, for those that are not in the country and those that are in prison, for instance, there are records that you said the other time, Dele, that after some time, when anybody comes to prove that if he has answered the necessary query, the account can be released. So for somebody that is not in the country while the BBN exercise was going on, and somebody that has been in prison, those ones can easily be settled after their time. It's just unfortunate that whichever way we go, we have perfected our mind that we must bring out corruption out of every way we go. Now, if the federal government decides to take temporary possession of these accounts, if anybody has been indicted or is being suspected for corruption now, they can wait until probably my people gets to government, and then they will go back and take their account again. It's just that it's neither here nor there. But then let us just know that if we continue to harbor corruption everywhere we go, everything we do will continue to see lapse. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you, Yomi, and that is the last contribution we'll be able to accommodate. Well, whatever you can still do before tomorrow or before the end of work tomorrow, if you have issues, kindly do so. Visit your bank. They should, one good thing which I've seen, because I've been to about 4 banks now trying to sort this out, and I realized that those who are at the customer service have been very, very cooperative. So they will quickly they will guide you. Well, they don't, because they will also be at the receiving end. They are also going to lose, really, if this order is enforced. So just to go ahead and talk to them, they will put you through, they will guide you and see whatever you can do before the close of business tomorrow. That's our show this morning. We appreciate every one of you for being part of it. Those who just sat down quietly enjoying the show, thank you so much. And those who called, those who tweeted, those who posted comments on our Facebook page, and those who actually sent messages via the short code. God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless Rock City.
Of course, we can continue with this debate tomorrow, Friday, on the open day. Tobi and Kunle Alaye will take you through. Dele Ayodo is my name. I say God bless you all. God bless Nigeria and God bless Rock City.